Hello, oh gosh. Hello, Pacific Northwest fabulous booksellers. I'm Roshni Chakshi. This is Teddy. He's trying to disturb me, so down he goes. I'm so sad that I couldn't be with you guys in person this week, but I'm so excited to tell you about my upcoming adult debut, The Last Tale of the Flower Bride. The Last Tale of the Flower Bride is, at its heart, a Gothic fairy tale. It is a story about a husband and wife, about the secrets they keep from one another, and it's also a celebration about the stories we tell ourselves to survive. Ominously enough, I actually started writing The Last Tale of the Flower Bride during my first year of marriage. I remember my husband and I had moved back home after graduate school, and there was this odd dissonance to our homecoming, this sense that landmarks had warped in size, or that our childhood home suddenly felt flimsy and a little doll-like. And as I was thinking about how many things had changed, I realized that what had changed the most was us. My husband and I actually met when we were 15 years old. And I remember the very fateful carpool day where I slipped him a letter that said, "Do you like me? Circle yes or no." And he circled yes. And then 17 years have gone by. And that's a very glib way to put it. But in those 17 years, we have been 1,000 different people to one another. And I don't think I'd really appreciated that until we moved back home. And when I started thinking about those early years, who I was, especially as a teenager, what really came up a lot for me was remembering what those first friendships were like. Those almost feral, obsessive teenage friendships where you try on one another's identities like their skins, and you are petty and cruel and ambitious and kind and fragile and loving, and your heart is just this flayed open thing. I mean, feral is the perfect word to describe it because, as anyone who has ever been a teenager knows, you're not quite human at that point in your life. There's this savage viciousness, I think, to girlhood that was something I really wanted to explore in the book. And it's something that, again, I didn't think about until that first year of marriage when my husband and I moved back home. I remember going through my parents' closets looking for something that I could put into our new house, and I found myself back in my childhood bedroom going through things, and it's ridiculous, the sort of relics from middle school and high school you'll find. I am convinced that at the back of every person's childhood closet, you will find evidence of all the people you desperately wanted to be and all the people you desperately wish that you had never been. Those were really uncomfortable findings for me and uncomfortable realizations, honestly. And ever since I was a kid, whenever I felt uncomfortable, I would retreat into the world of a myth or a fairy tale. And during that year, I remember feeling uncomfortable in my own skin, uncomfortable in the stories that I was used to telling, which suddenly didn't seem like the stories I felt like telling now. I was uncomfortable in my city, and I wanted a fairy tale. For years, for eons, humans have used fairy tales and mythology to explain the unexplainable. And it was something I found myself thinking about a lot. One of the weirdest things I've been told is that my relationship is like something out of a fairy tale. And I honestly cannot imagine anything more horrifying. Marriages and love in fairy tales are cold, full of curses, silences, cruelty. I became very curious about what a fairy tale marriage would look like in practice. I wanted to explore who would participate in this and why. And I also wanted to explore the fairy tale of girlhood and growing up. I wanted to examine the relics that are at the back of our closets, the things that are formative even though we desperately wish that we could forget about them. My greatest hope is that when readers discover The Last Tale of the Flower Bride, they'll have the same sense that I have when I revisit a beloved fairy tale. I want them to feel quiet and on the brink of daydreams. I want them to feel comforted and a little bit disturbed. And most importantly, I want them to leave these pages thinking and believing in magic again. So The Last Tale of the Flower Bride comes out February 2023 on Valentine's Day, no less. Again, it's a celebration of the stories that we tell ourselves, the myth making of growing up. And it's all wrapped up in what I hope you will find to be a delicious, delectable Gothic fairy tale. Thank you so much.